all members present except Mike and Tim, but we have a quorum of 5, so that will enable us to get the meeting going. And we'll start off with the minutes that get sent around. Any
Did you have the
comments?
minutes?
Mike, I looked at them, they looked okay. Mike said that he looked at them and they looked okay to him.
Yeah, I didn't get any comments. I have copies if anybody didn't see them.
So,
No, didn't hear anything from anybody, but they went out late too, so.
Move to accept the minutes?
Second, all in favor? Aye.
And technically, I'm not supposed to vote because I wasn't there, I think. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter, you guys just got it done.
The treasurer's report?
Okay, in full disclosure, I totally forgot about this appointment. So, I did not check these, so I will, before the end of the year, just double check. But the rider fund stays the same, because we're the only ones that use it, $4,125.32. Hub preservation hangs at around $18,223.67. That probably has some interest on that now, and I don't know if there's been any other activity, but I will check on it. However, on the open space donation account, it was at $389.04, and Tim, we got his invoices in for the beach tree treatment. There were 2 different ones for a total of $214.50, which leaves a balance of $174.54 in the open space. So that, sort of comes up and down as we need it, but if you don't, doesn't do you any good if you don't use it, right? And we don't want to dig into the rider until we find a way to replenish it. And I've said that but I still haven't found that way. Plant a money tree. So there we are. But I will get the numbers for the end of the year.
Okay, so that answers one of my questions. I had something on here, so that invoice for Tim is all set.
Well, I'm assuming, I put it in 11/4 and I missed the warrant by 1 day, but I think it's happened again.
But it's in process and it will
Yeah,
be.
right.
Land Priority Group, we almost met. We tried to, but we got a project going at the house, and so that got pushed back again, but we'll get going in December.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So I'd like to do that soon. I haven't, Tim didn't respond to my note. Has anybody heard from him?
I
okay?
I haven't heard from him.
He also didn't respond to the string of emails that
Yeah.
we should.
That's unlike him, but
Yeah.
I'll check that. I hope everything's okay.
I got an email from him about a week ago on some unrelated thing.
Oh, well, at
but
least that's
so-
fairly recent then.
Yeah. Might have been a week and a half, thereabouts.
okay, good.
Oh, it was my trees. I sent a picture of some trees, some ash trees that
Oh.
are getting brown, and I asked him if that was the ash borer, and he said, yeah. And I said, is there anything I can do? And he said,
No.
cut them down before they fall down.
Good advice.
So,
The
Gates
town-
Foundation, that's just in there as a placeholder till maybe we start to do something relative to a plan to do something there in the spring. Still got to do something on that grant for Dottie in the parking lot. And then the signs I was going to ask, we got the wood for it. We got to get that over to Katie. So
what kind of wood did it turn out to be?
I got some cedar.
good.
At Home Depot, they carried some cedar, so I got.
Oh, they do?
A full 1-inch thick board. It's not quite as thick as the existing signs, but it's 5/4 stock. So
Oh, good.
milled down, it gets it down to 1 inch thick. It should be okay. On the blazing for the Eagle Scout Trail, that would have been a Tim thing, but we haven't heard on, he was working on getting the goat emblem to get that blazing out there. The sand pit development proposal, I had sent Nate that note about, what's happening and what our vantage point was and whatnot, and I haven't heard anything back on that. So,
There's a meeting with Niche for the group that's been working with him on the 10th. The purpose of the meeting is to get an update from Niche on where they are and drafting. They were asked to draft some language for for an overlay. If they wanted to use an overlay, put the overlay in the bylaws, they were going to help with drafting that language.
so somebody has asked Nish to do that?
Yeah,
And that's part of
their deal. Yep.
the grant funding?
yep. Yeah,
So are you going to that meeting on the 10th?
yep.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a Zoom meeting, so
yeah, good.
I'll walk all the way to the coffee machine.
So they're gonna
Thank
do
you.
a draft overlay, that would be the zoning thing then?
Yeah, well, the planning board has asked them to put some language together that they can take a look at and use as a basis for whatever they end up doing. That's, if you remember, there's two ways you can do it. You can change the existing bylaws completely, or you can do an overlay. So, the select board said, well, we don't want to reinvent the wheel because there's already restrictions on the property and on the whole area there that are currently in the bylaws. So rather than change all the bylaws and have to redo all those restrictions, an overlay only doesn't change any of the restrictions, but does whatever they end up deciding they want to do with the property.
And who's gonna decide that? How's that gonna get played?
The planning board puts it together, decides what they want to do. They submit it to the select board. The select board, they go back and forth. And then whatever ends up getting approved by the planning board and the select board comes to town meeting in June.
And so how does the public come in, just by attending the
Yeah, there are
planning
open
board
meetings.
meetings?
Yep, planning board meetings and select board meeting.
Well, and obviously the town meeting, but by the time it gets to the town meeting,
It's cooked. Yeah,
any input from the public will
That
not
was
get
way back.
into what they present.
There hasn't been a meeting since the last time we met with Niche or anybody. The planning board meeting was on October 16th, when Niche made the presentation to the planning board. And I watched that. Actually, I think I was there, now that I think of it. Was I there?
Watch it on TV or live.
Anyways, I didn't watch the next planning board meeting, so I don't know what was discussed about it.
Thank you.
But I'll ask at the December 10th meeting if there's going to be any kind of public, rather than just attend the planning board meeting, or at least announce to people that if they want to know about it, they should either come to the planning board meeting or watch the Zoom.
And, they obviously must have that. If they're gonna talk about it on their agenda, that gets published, right?
Yep.
Okay. On the hay contract, I did get a response. I sent Nate two things asking about our input on that sand, but I didn't hear anything back from him on that. On the hay contract, I did get a response recently, just in the last 4 or 5 days. That was, thanks for a reminder. They are, because of the scope of the amount of money involved, that it's over 10 grand, I'm not sure where that came from, but
It's a 5-year contract.
what's that, that's the last?
Five
name?
years times
Oh, okay.
$2,500 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay. The, that they got to put together a proposal for the state guidelines on that. And the request was to get our input. He didn't say anything about the longevity of the contract, because that was one of the main things we had. If we want the contractor to get a vested interest in it and invest in fertilizer and whatnot, that the recommendation from outside, Google searches and stuff is that you extend the contract duration. But he didn't comment on that aspect of it. But I did ask him if we could have a look at whatever gets sent out prior to it getting sent out.
You said yeah?
And so he said he was gonna respond by the end of the day Wednesday, and that didn't happen. But he did say he had been really sidetracked with other business, but they,
Well, at least he admitted it.
Well, it's
I
getting.
mean, the only way around that $10,000 is to have a shorter contract, right? You do a 3-year contract, and then it's not greater than $10,000, so.
yeah. He did comment on that he didn't think that was a viable.
Oh, he did? Mhm.
The DC Forestman plan, I've had it on here to see if anything happened as a result of that. I think I'm just going to drop that off the agenda item in the future, because Tim doesn't know anything about it, and we haven't heard anything about that officially. The 2 initiatives about doing something about off-highway recreational vehicles. The public outreach team did have a meeting, they got going on that. And so that's good that they got going. So Steph, you want to comment on that?
Well, we just, in our meeting, we just talked about some ways to reach out to the public. And so Mike, I wish he was here to describe how he was going to do it, but when he leads walks, he gives a specific speech at the beginning of every walk he leads, if I'm remembering this correctly, and talks about the safety on the trail and rules on the trail. So he's going to mention to those people on those walks that, four-wheelers aren't allowed and why. And, so that was his way of public outreach.
Yep.
We're also, one of my jobs is to reach out to see what we can do about getting an article in the Gardner News. And then I also wanted to reach out to Tricia about ways we can involve the youth in educating the youth
Okay.
on that. And then we just kind of discussed why is there a rule that four-wheelers aren't on there, so that we all understand why. And we discussed 4 major things: was destruction of trails, safety, noise pollution, and mental health, disruption of solitude. And can you guys think of anything else we?
Did you have a chance to follow up with Gemma about writing?
That's on my list of when
Oh,
got
okay,
reaching out to
yeah.
the Gardner News, yeah.
Because that dovetails with the youth. and
Yeah.
Youth involved and so.
How about contacting police slash?
Oh, yeah, that was, Todd is working on that. He's waiting for a response
Oh, yeah.
about what the actual fine is. We don't.
Well,
none of us
that's sort of part of the sign initiative.
Okay,
We
yeah.
definitely need more signage.
And posting
and
on the
A
sign.
sign with the fine amount would probably be more useful than just a sign saying, don't do it.
Please don't.
Right, right.
How about social media? Did you guys talk about that?
A little bit. None of us are really on social media.
Well,
So I,
wasn't somebody going to write something up for, what was it?
that was for the Gardner News.
Oh,
Yeah.
but we can put the same
Same
thing onto Facebook
Yeah,
very easily.
send it to Katie.
Yeah.
Especially in the spring, maybe, when we're cleaning the trail seriously, because that's the key to maintaining it, to get out there and do just that before things get out of hand. But that could be a good opportunity to say, as we're cleaning, we don't want, and just see what, at this point, nobody's out there, not even snowmobiles, would they be?
Those are legal, but no, there's supposed to be a certain amount of snow.
Oh. So maybe springtime is the the
To
time
use a snowmobile, I'm pretty sure there's rules about how much snow is on the ground.
Oh, really?
Because just because you see some snow on the ground doesn't mean you should be getting out there
Yeah,
using, because they don't.
yeah, tear up the ground. and-
Todd messed up the trail with his skis.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Wasn't that beautiful? It
Very
looked
nice.
wonderful. So you were
You were gonna
blazing it
take this
yourself, right? You were blazing the
Yeah,
trail
yeah.
yourself?
I was the first one
Yeah,
to use it.
yeah.
Now all the hard work's done, so if you have skis, you can go get out on this trail.
Get in the trail. It's gonna snow again next week, so.
Wow.
And then we also talked about that, making a recommendation to the other group that we think that we should pick one spot and do something, right?
Yes, something tangible, some deterrent sort of thing. Experiment with it at a key point. Remember, we talked about that, which might be rocks or what they do at Wachusett with, the horizontal
Okay, well,
between.
That gets into what Tim and I were doing. He didn't respond to that email either, so I got to get back in touch with him
Yeah.
just about doing that. But my thought relative to the deterrence group was to do a map initially of the various the trail systems, and then we know where there's activity, so you want to really focus your deterrence efforts on low-hanging fruit, the most important areas, and obviously the most important areas is where we know there's a lot of activity, as well as ones that are really valuable to protect, like Dottie Rock. So we really want to focus on Dottie Rock, but then beyond that, look at the different places where there's a lot of activity and focus our efforts on that. And then each one can have a different, a potentially different solution from the typical DCR type gates, which would be less expensive than what we may do at Malone Road, because that one wants to have a fair amount of aesthetic aspect to it, which
Yeah.
is, the DCR things aren't aesthetic, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
You think DCR might chip in some money for that?
well, that's part of what we will look at and try and, one is to get some costs relative to, so you do this map and say, okay, let's do this, this, and this first, and this type of thing in these different areas, and then from that you can put some costs against it. So that would be our approach.
Or actually,
See if we can follow up with
even
Tim.
North County. Maybe North County has a few
Yeah,
dollars.
maybe they could.
For Malone, at least,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, they've got the restrictions, so.
Well, you'll be seeing Emily this Friday,
Oh,
those
yeah.
that are going on
Next
that
Friday.
trip. Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
that's a good
A week
idea to
from
bring it up.
tomorrow. Yeah, so that's the near future. That might be a good time to just bounce that idea off of her.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for older business. In new business, I did get, not a written report, but I think I forwarded around the email from Felicia/Danny about the trail, and they just acknowledged that everything looked great. So that was good to get. And then a more recent thing that I just added to the agenda, we can talk about, it wasn't published, but we can at least talk about it. There was a request from Nina Duggan, I think that's her name, from Waywood. She's has a little side business called Waywood Ecologist, but she's done some pretty potent stuff. I don't know if anybody had looked at her website or whatnot, but
Yeah, because
she's,
Rick forwarded the email, I think, to all of us.
but she's done stuff in quite a few different places all across the state and even some internationally. She was originally from Hubbardston,
Yeah, I saw that.
and she wanted to do some animal tracking
This
sessions
season, right?
and focus on the Hubbardston lands to do that, and maybe even some, also some Mount Grace lands, maybe, because I know Mount Grace was included in the email that we got from the town. We get that from
Leanne.
Yeah.
Leanne Moses.
And she was going to send the form to her
Yeah.
to fill.
And initially, I was going to say we're supportive of those kinds of efforts.
Yeah.
However, after thinking about it for just a little bit, there's the one key thing that may be worth discussing is her context was that she was going to lead small groups, 10 max, of which it's probably pretty easy to get 10 max. I think a lot of people on the Open Space Committee would like to attend some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I believe there's costs involved, and so, and she would do it, let's see, she does stuff officially for Mass Audubon, but she also does stuff in conjunction with her own little company, that Waywood Ecologist. That being said, she's probably gonna, it sounded like she was gonna charge a fee in conjunction with that. How does that work?
As long as she pays her taxes.
I know on the application, because I filled that out several times in conjunction with Bay State Trail Riders. Bay State Trail Riders do collect a fee for the people that go to those rides. But that fee, first of all, Bay State Trail Riders is a nonprofit, an official 503c nonprofit organization. And that fee goes towards a nice luncheon, et cetera. So, and also relative to the nonprofit stuff, it goes towards donations to projects. So we've probably got, not probably, we've
And we've
definitely got-
benefited from that, yeah.
We've got several $1,000s from them over the
Yeah,
years
yeah.
for our projects. And so, so that's how I answered that in conjunction with filling out that application for the ride, that Bay State ride that's held yearly. In conjunction with this, what's the protocol? So I don't know.
That's a good question.
Well, when you're dealing with Bay State riders, is it an upfront expectation that they will contribute, or is it something they do out of their own?
For Bay State?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something they do out of their own, it's not,
Yeah,
it's
so
not
it's
like
not-
on the
it's
We
application.
don't
not
demand
specified.
it. We don't
When they
even
apply for
ask.
permission, you don't specify a fee.
No, they just ask if there is a fee on that, on the application. Our town has the application that you, right, it asks if there's a fee.
The form asks this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the form that.
And it doesn't
that he
say
gets
how
from
it's
the
going to
town.
get dispositioned.
Uh-huh.
That's why I was,
It does ask something of what's the utilization of the funds or something like that. I brought a copy of it, but there's no information that I know of relative to any protocols on, so you got a private company, so this person is, or her little company is private, sounds like.
So she's in essence a small business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a 501c3. And
That's-
there's different rules, I'm sure, but.
She did comment relative to her company. She didn't comment on whether it was a 503c, I doubt it. But she did comment that it is quote-unquote registered in the town.
yeah.
She's
Not
paying
sure what
taxes.
that means, but
Means she's paying taxes.
means what?
She's paying taxes.
On the revenue from that business,
Yeah.
yeah.
If there is, I'm like Bob, I'm assuming there's revenue.
And so maybe if we were going to weigh in on this, if the fees are nominal, if somebody's not really looking to make a big profit out of this, that it certainly lines up with the educational aspect of what we've got in our plan.
Mhm.
It's a, and would be worthwhile paying a nominal fee to get somebody to lead expeditions like this. So,
Oh, you mean us
but again,
paying?
I don't know how that
Us
gets
paying her,
handled.
you mean?
What?
You mean us paying her to lead?
To lead a specific,
Well, that would be one way to orchestrate something like that, if we knew of someone that could do a really good job along the lines of what she's talking about. I mean, we could hire her, but that's not the way this is orchestrated.
Yeah.
This is being orchestrated by whoever signs up out of the, up to 10 people. I assume that there would be a fee for
Yeah.
those that sign up. So this would be paid by the individual participants. And again, I guess if the fee were nominal and in line with
our goals.
our goals,
Yeah.
and that somebody is not looking to just use our lands as an aspect of their business to make a significant profit, to take advantage of the land. If that were the flavor, then you'd probably have a little skeptical approach to it. But if it's a very nominal fee, maybe to cover expenses, et cetera, that she's got, it seems certainly a worthwhile venture, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
how this-
I wouldn't, I
Let's
agree
just-
with you, I wouldn't want to charge her for having it, because it brings people to our conservation areas to use them, which is what we want them to do. So,
But you wouldn't what?
I wouldn't want to charge her for,
You
you
wouldn't
know,
want to make her pay a fee to
Oh,
the
but pay a
town.
fee to the town.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's paying taxes to the town if she's making money off it, she has to.
Okay, and I guess that's an aspect of reimbursement to the town.
We could ask her in exchange, she could help out when we have trail clearing and stuff like that, projects.
Todd, for the nature club, is there anything comparable that someone has let out and then has charged for, like tracking? Somebody did some tracking last year, didn't they? They contacted us?
That could have happened. I'm not sure
You know,
if
the
it was on
the
town
snow.
land or not.
Yeah.
She did lead a woodcock meeting.
Oh, Woodcock?
Woodcock.
Yeah, that, East Quabbin did one of those too, but
And
we
that
didn't.
was on one of our fields. But there were only like 3 or 4 people involved.
Yeah, but there wasn't a fee.
No.
Oh, okay.
Anything East Quabbin? We've gone to several East Quabbin activities.
Yeah, but they don't charge, I've never seen a charge for it.
Yeah, I haven't paid a fee.
Unless there's
for anything.
materials for a kid's craft thing or something like that.
Didn't we pay a fee to go to a couple of their things?
I don't think
Or there
so.
was a meal involved or something?
I think you just bring food if it's like a potluck.
Oh, their annual thing,
Well, their annual meeting, and they do
Is,
charge
yeah.
like $50 a person for
Right,
that,
for
but
the-
it's a big meal. that
yeah,
goes
for
with
the
that.
for the food, right. But the other stuff, their other things are all potlucks, and Cynthia's
Well, it
big on
seems
that.
like there's somebody we could ask, because it's already like, there's gotta be a rule in place for this. It's not something that we're just like bringing up.
Not
and coming-
necessarily.
Not necessarily,
I think
because
maybe-
I mean, we've been here for
Well-
a while, we haven't seen anything like this before.
No, other than Bay State.
Well, when you think about like, people that lead rafting trips or, those are like canoeing trips, right? Those may be on public lands, and
Well,
they're,
they certainly go through public
and they're
lands.
making profits on that.
That's on another scale in my head, you know, it's renting
Well, no, but to
equipment.
Steph's point, they certainly utilize probably a lot of public land on some
Right.
of those
So I
rivers.
feel
go
like
through
there's
lots of-
already some sort of a
And-
rule,
and
because
they-
we just don't know, because we don't run an outdoor recreation company. That, although.
Well, my guess is though, there's an application, just like we've got an application, and the application does have a section on the finances and some wording essentially to the disposition of those finances, you know. Are you using this, plan on using this as just a regular aspect of your business? And so then that would be a little bit different or something.
Yeah, but
We
it's
could
a-
ask her.
Oh, yeah.
She'd probably know the answer to the question, because she does all leads all kinds of things
She must have
at
done
different places.
this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, I'll see if I can get the contact. I don't have her, I do have her email. Yeah, I do have her email.
Yeah.
I can introduce myself and just ask her
Yeah.
that question, so.
Because what she does for the Audubon, that's kind of their property, so that's, you know, kind of a private,
And maybe she gets
Arrangement.
compensated
well, they might pay her to do
by
it.
Audubon
Yeah.
for her work that she does there, so. I guess on an analogous scale, and I don't know anything if what's mushroom stuff, mycology?
Yeah.
Mycology?
Mhm.
Hey.
Michael.
Got it.
So Steph and I went to 2 sessions over at the
Botanical garden.
Botanical Gardens, and they had somebody come in, and he was really good. And he led a walk there. That's where Steph and Bob got attacked by a
Oh, the bird.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crazy
But
But
then we
story.
had to pay a fee to go to that, but that was
So
at
there was a
Botanical
fee,
Garden.
they did charge, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks to go to that, but the fee was charged not by him, but by the Botanical Gardens, but maybe they compensated him, I don't know.
I think let it just play out, maybe, without too much fuss and bother, or, like, you want to contact her. Now that she has snow, the tracking could begin.
Yeah, it could happen right
So she
soon,
might
that would
get
be
into
fun.
it, and then, you know, next week.
Well, no, as long as things are nominal, essentially, so she gets a little bit of money and covers it, at least covers the expenses and gets a little bit of money out of this. And as long as it's nominal, it would seem
Right.
great and in line with everything we want to do,
Yeah.
and to have
Sure.
a professional do
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
It
It's
brings,
great.
as Rick was saying, brings people, they may mention it to someone else, and then, you
Mhm.
know. So that's kind of the point, of having people use
And
the
I may
name.
talk to, it's a Concom form. I did have to do a response, I think I copied people on it, a response to Leanne, that she asked who should be contacted relative to this person's request. And I said, well, it's clear that the Concom is the one that you file the application with, and they make the decision on it. But I said, in the future, for any applications like that, that we would like to have the Open Space Committee at least be informed about the application to maybe potentially weigh in on the decision made by COMCON, because we may have an input to it that may not be necessarily just something that from a different perspective from the COMCON's
Yeah.
perspective. So,
Well, Brian was copied on that, right?
What?
Brian was copied on that? He's the Concom
Oh, yeah,
guy?
yeah, he's the COMCON. Yeah, well, he and I were addressed in the same manner. It was,
Yeah.
Leanne sent it to Brian and myself.
Right.
so
But he hasn't
I
responded
haven't
yet.
heard anything from that. But,
I thought it was great to have-
The bottom line,
Yeah.
I
I
think
like your website.
there's a lot of potential benefit here. That's the way I look at it, so, but it is something, if Concom hasn't dealt with financial aspect considerations before, how do you do that?
Yeah.
So,
I wonder how much she does charge for something like that.
Well, that's where contacting her.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's done this in quite a few places. And,
I mean, you're right, I'd like to go to some of them maybe.
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, stuff and I would sign up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When I initially.
Well,
said to
if it's $100 to, you know,
Oh,
Yeah.
then-
I'm not gonna sign up. But if it was 10 or 20 bucks, I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's along the lines, I guess, along the lines of if, something that's reasonable. I mean, if somebody were going to charge a lot of money for this, then obviously it sounds like $100.
No.
And obviously, they're looking to make a lot of money out of this. But if they're something in the $10, $15 range, they're mostly just covering expenses and a little bit for their time. And that's in line, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So, all right. Actually, I skipped over it when we were going through the trail stuff. Steph and I did get back out relative to the Mill Pond Trail. I guess I have a couple comments on the work on the Mill Pond Trail. That can be done with an 8-foot structure there, so it doesn't need more than that. It's kind of a little bit rocky on one side, the other side is pretty smooth exiting the bridge. But that trail needs quite a bit of work in a lot of places along there. Fixing up the rocky part, I think, should be done in conjunction with a broader scope to really improve that trail, period. I know a couple of years ago, we looked at how to come down that hill and get across and just follow high ground. The contour maps for that don't really help a lot because 10 meter, I think they're 10 meter contour lines or something like that. So picking contour lines that are 3 meters higher, which I think is Malone Road, I think is down to 3 meters now. So there's a newer approach of getting 3 meter topographies. But they stopped, and it helped Mark quite a bit initially. They stopped just past the Malone Road area.
Oh, really?
And didn't go further out, so that helped with that.
That's the Mass Mapper contours?
There's pathways that can avoid a lot of the mucky areas out there. And what I would like to do is maybe relative to fixing up the trails, we can definitely do the bridge. In fact, there's a 2-phase to that. From getting out there, it's a 5-foot wide structure that's there now. And so if we just do like what is on Gates Hill, that's a 4-foot wide structure. We can just put the grate down, and that would make the structure safe. So that would be a big thing right off the bat. And that wouldn't require anything but getting the grading out there. We could just put the grading down, and that's it.
Oh, you don't need any...
Well, we could do that at a later point in time.
Oh,
Just so that
okay.
it's safe over the winter, we could.
Because if we put the mat and the stone down, which is the preferable thing, and would be the long-term thing, just like on Gates Hill and what we've done on all the other bridges, Steph and I have done now about 15 to 20 bridges. We got another 2 coming in Bolton. In fact, that material will be arriving Monday. But we could just put the grate down and we wouldn't even have to, that's heavy enough, and there's curbing there already, so it's not gonna move or do anything, so, and that would make the structure safe, no matter who walked on it.
Right now, the mats are covered, I don't know if any of you use that bridge, but the mats are covering where the hole is. Some people have been going across it, they don't know that there's a hole underneath the mat. And I think a human wouldn't have any issues.
But a horse would.
Oh, a horse
Yeah.
definitely would.
Well, was there any feedback from the Bay State? Did people use that trail?
We didn't
No.
use it.
Oh,
No,
it
we
was
didn't.
off, okay.
No, but we have some
Yeah.
people at our barn that have used it, and they told me they walked across the bridge, and I was like, what? Don't do that.
Yeah.
They couldn't see the
Well,
hole.
would it be better to take the mat off so people can see?
I did flip it off, but people have since flipped it back.
Maybe
It's heavy
flip it off and
stuff.
take it away because
It's attached.
that,
so,
yeah, preventative medicine
What is
is
it,
the
like a
best
stall mat?
kind.
Mm.
They're heavy, but yeah. we
I think they're attached on there too. I didn't bring any tools
I
out.
don't want any broken legs. That would
No.
be, that's something that can be avoided, so, yeah. Here I am.
So that's why I
I've
wanted to
been
just
down there and-
put the cover on it.
Yeah,
And then,
or make sure
and then in the
it's,
spring, when we go down with equipment to do everything,
Yeah,
then we can really fix it up. But that would make it safe.
that sounds good. But you were talking about doing some trail work in addition?
Well, that's what I would like to see, so we can look at that. I mean, I really would like to, that could be a really
nice trail.
A really nice trail.
Yeah, it's a fun wood.
because of the pine trees, and it smells nice
Well,
in there.
It's a completely different,
Environment.
along the lines of moose tracks? Yeah, moose tracks. I mean, that goes through quite a bit of varying forest or structure in there. So you get some open areas and different types of growth as you go through the different elevations out there, from hemlock groves to different type of deciduous trees as you get up near that meadow, up near the top of Mount Jeff. So that's a really interesting trail. But Milk Pond could be a very similar thing.
Yeah.
Our riders, when we went through that with the kids, they loved going through that because in the hemlock area where there's no understorage, there's no undergrowth because of the coverage. That was, what do we call that?
Enchanted forest.
The enchanted forest area. Because it was really quiet.
Yeah.
The sound got absorbed by all the soft ground and
It's
then the trees. It was really a
Kind of
different
mystical.
environment.
Yeah.
Didn't
But-
we called it the 100-acre wood?
A long time advantage would be even the other side of it. If you get across that bridge and you get up onto some relatively high ground, right now the trail kind of goes on the side of a hill. So, a couple of years ago, Steph and I, there's some really big trees up at the top of the hill. And it would be, we could make a much smoother trail, because even that other trail is rocky and got some dips and et cetera or something, so.
Lots of
Tree
roots.
roots.
Tree roots, yeah.
That's, I recall.
It's just not a very pleasant, and that lines up with some of our goals in our
Yeah.
open space plan to make trails more pleasant to walk, so.
Yeah. Agree.
All right. That's what I've got. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, just a quick question. You were mentioned, for whatever topic we were talking, mapping the trail system. Oh, for the deterrent thing, start out by mapping the trail system.
Yeah.
When you do that,
Yep.
if we had a map of the trail system, do we want to print some more maps? Because we're basically out of them.
Updated maps.
Yeah, updated maps with all the new trails and stuff.
That would be a good thing to do.
Sounds like a project that needs to be done in the near future to stay up with things, right?
It would
Oh,
probably, printing them would probably cost about $200, $250.
Do people print stuff anymore, though? You're
Yeah.
talking to the queen of paper.
Yeah, so how often,
Well, yeah.
how often were you going and filling the mailbox with maps?
Not enough, actually, but they still got almost
They
used up.
they got
They're
used up.
getting used, so.
Right.
Somebody's.
Because not everybody is checking out, the trail signs are great, but you got to be down on the trail to see them.
Do you think people
There's
still?
a QR code on the trail, on the map, the signs. that
Yeah,
People could use to get
The-
that map on their phone.
if they get reception.
You can get reception at Malone.
It's better than it used
Who
So
do you
the
have for-
reception is better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Who do you use for,
Spectrum.
do you? Because
Yeah,
I use T-Mobile and it's terrible out there, so,
Still?
What do we-
yeah. I don't think they're hooked up with the
Verizon.
new tower yet.
So we get pretty good reception with
Yeah,
Verizon.
Verizon was one of the people that they had originally
But I
signed
don't
up
have
to use
QR code reader.
the new tower.
I
Anyway.
should download one.
Well, in conjunction with that,
She said.
Bolton's got a nice template to follow, so they've got they put a booklet with a trail description, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and that would fall in line with that, and whether it would be something that, it could obviously be a paper version of that booklet.
Yeah.
But just as easily, it could be a QR code accessed thing. But that gives people a description of the terrain and longevity, how long it takes to walk the trail,
Yeah.
the kind of hiker that it's suitable for, et cetera, so.
The,
And with some of the things, and the description of the terrain, like the different forests that you're gonna walk
Yeah.
through. And so,
that would be good too.
and we can use, the Bolton one would make a very nice template.
The, Malone has the QR codes, but Mount Jeff doesn't.
Is there one on all those
At the
new signs?
trailhead, the maps that Mark printed up?
For the trailhead at Mount Jeff?
They might all have a QR code in the
Yeah,
corner.
the ones that marked it, those have a
All the
QR.
ones that are
Oh,
even in
right,
the
yeah.
middle of the
I forgot, he did,
woods,
he
right?
did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
because they're a trailhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought those all had them.
So all we need is to have updated QR codes, because we got new trails, right?
Yeah,
For those sections.
well, updated maps on the web, yeah.
But I like the idea of the descriptions of being available.
Yeah.
So you can plan, some people would prefer various, if they
Yeah.
have limited time or
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, so you can, is it easy to get a hold of that template?
From Bolton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll send it around.
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting.
Because that's available online.
Yeah, you can just go onto their website.
Oh, okay.
And they have really good tutorials
Now, and
on how to
who
get those
runs
maps
that? Is
down
that an
into your
open
phone.
space group that runs the Bolton?
They have
Conservation and Trust.
Or
an
Land
organization
Trust.
called Bolton Conservation Trust.
Ah, okay.
And then a subset of that Bolton Conservation Trust is a small group called Bolton Trails.
Ah,
That's who we interface with when we're doing the bridge work.
Yeah, really.
So maybe we really
nice
wouldn't need to print
people
them, you know?
And
If
so
they-
just relative to
Yeah.
funding too, just who does what over there, so we did like 7 or 8 bridges over there at the very end of the year last year. As well as 100 feet of boardwalk in
is that all? Oh, my goodness.
and that was paid for by a grant, so we interface with the town on that. This one is being funded by, 2 more are being funded by Bolton Conservation Trust. So,
All right.
all right.
Before are we all set with formal stuff? I'll be sure to see you Sunday night.
Oh, with the breasts,
Oh, you actually know about it? How on earth do you know about it?
don't.
I
I'm
thought you
guessing.
weren't going.
Yeah, I am. No, my point is, I
You
don't
said
think.
you couldn't make it. Didn't you have
No,
a conflict?
I was just guessing.
Oh, that was just a good guess. Oh, you are so, oh, that's so funny. Because Todd, have you heard about the brass group? This is a test.
She brought it up at our little.
No,
may have
I didn't know about it then.
I may have seen something from the Council on Aging about it.
No, that was a
That was
senior
different.
sing-along
I
or
saw that
something.
too.
Oh, okay.
I do believe it's on the electronic sign, but I haven't stood there long enough to be sure. But it like evolved. I only found out about it like a week ago. And nobody's publicized it or anything, so no wonder nobody shows up.
Yeah.
It's right at the church, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's 5:30 this Sunday.
And you're bringing brownies.
Yes, and I'm bringing, oh, that's right, because we talked
Yeah,
about it
we-
at
at
the
the-
meeting,
the
right?
meeting, yeah.
Because the Whitneys, who were church members, are still involved. Right now, nobody's really steering the ship because they're in a lifeboat, sort of, and nobody's really, because we haven't had a chance to organize it yet. But, and I assumed that the brass group wasn't coming, because that was the last word I'd heard. They were going to reschedule because they needed some new venues and Hubbard's, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, I hear there's a concert through Tim somehow.
No?
Yeah, or Deb said.
that's right,
She
yeah.
saw something about it, and she wanted to know if it was happening, and he texted me, and then I got in touch with Brianna Whitney, the Whitney's people who are at the church, and she said, oh, yeah, it's gonna happen, 5:30 on the 7th. And I said, okay, and she said, bring some brownies, and I said, sure, that's fine, but I haven't seen it, it's not in the Berry Gazette, it's not in the Gardner News, and there's no sign out in front, because I think, I said to Brianna, wouldn't it be a good idea to put the sign out like you do every other year? Oh, I think we chucked that.
Well, everyone who's watching this meeting on TV will
Well-
It
know.
was a topic at the select board meeting last month.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Tim brought it up then, I guess, right? He asked about it, was that?
No, Katie brought it up in the meeting.
Oh, okay, and?
She said that she was listing off the events for the month of December, and that
Okay.
was one of them.
Okay, so it's,
And Tim said, is it being publicized anywhere? And she said, well, we just, and this is just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
We just got approval that, to make sure it would be insured, the town insurance would cover it,
Yeah.
for liability issues. And
So that was the
that's-
glitch, I guess.
That's why they couldn't move forward with planning it yet.
Mm.
And Trish was involved with that, and the Whitneys were involved with that, and Katie was involved with that. And then Trish has resigned, so she's no longer
Involved in that.
the administrative person.
So anyway, it would be nice if you're available to support it. And I wanted to involve the school in the whole thing, but you can't do it in 2 weeks, Oh, well, I'm glad we didn't miss it.
5:30 Sunday.
5:30 Sunday. And it's
Yeah.
been a tradition for years.
At the old church.
At the first
Where
meeting house.
are you reading that?
One of-
Where, are you finding that
Oh,
somewhere?
I'm
Look up the
looking
date
for
for
it, I
next
haven't
meeting.
found it.
Oh,
So anyway, not to be Debbie Downer, but I just, if you, are available, it'd be nice to show up.
Yeah,
And it's free,
it's fun. reading.
and next year, we'll get the word out, I guess.
Hmm.
So, oh,
All right.
you guys, we're doing that thing in Barry too.
Is that the same night?
Yeah, no, well, it's at 1,
Oh, okay.
and then there's the dinner. and
That's
then
why
there's-
you didn't think you would be there.
Right, but we can, when they're doing the trivia game, we can just come over, let the dogs out, and then go to the concert, so, anyway. So,
All right.
okay, well, good for you, you're a good guesser.
I tell you. All right, when's the date for the next meeting?
Well, let's see.
Christmas.
The last Thursday is Christmas. The next Thursday.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. And then one after that is New Year's Eve.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
About
cold for
January
you.
8th.
January 8th, is that a Thursday?
That's roughly a month from now anyway, so.
Yeah.
And that's
Something
what- that's
is
That is a
January
Thursday, yeah.
7.
Yeah, that's 5 weeks, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're gonna do it on the 8th,
Well,
right?
that's the recommendation, the proposal,
okay.
yeah.
Because the Historical Society has a business meeting on the 7th. I think it's the 7th.
So does the 8th sound okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Does it sound like you're-
I guess so.
You still, anyway. So, see you guys 5:30 Sunday,
Someone make a motion
if
to...
possible.
I move to adjourn.
Oh, I guess we should
A
formally.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.